Welcome back, guys. We're about to jump into Game 3 between Select and Korlith. Korlith actually just took a game off of Select now. Series tied 1-1. What are your thoughts?
You know, I mean, I know a lot of people, JP, are probably going to watch that and go, you know, it was just a matter of timing there. They both were going for the exact same thing. At first, it actually looked like Korlith was not going to go Blue Flame, but we saw Select go with that a little bit earlier. He had Marines mixed in, which really helped him on his attack. But with the SCVs having to leave with no defense, you know, Korlith, at least when he saw his opportunity, went for it. So he deserved the win. And we're now going to be jumping to, Xel'Naga Caverns, which is always a Terran favored map. So both these guys should be at home.
So, I was about to ask who wins in a TVT. Which Terran is it going to be? But
the better one, JP, the better one.
What a great answer. Let's go ahead and jump into Game 3, guys, here on Xel'Naga Caverns between Select and Korlith and get this match started. Now, we do have Select spawning at the southern portion of the map here as the blue Terran. And, of course, his opponent and the unknown player in this match, Korlith, spawning here as the purple Terran. What do you think about Xel'Naga Caverns?
Yeah, well, are you asking me just, you know?
Well,
as,
I actually said that, and then I realized I'm sorry.
Yeah, because, you know, I play
You and this
Zerg.
map have some history,
Yeah, you know, I like this. I like this map. One of the things I like about a JP is that, of course, it's got the back doors, which we've seen come into play many times. But I think what happens on these types of maps, and why I wish, you know, we had even a larger rotation of decent maps, is that, you know, every single player knows how to handle all the harass that comes out here. So it's a utility that is available to all of these Terrans and all the Zergs and all the Protoss out there. But as the players just get so much more smarter, they become less and less of a utility. So the center of the map obviously being very, very important for any Terran in any matchup if it does come to a play where there are a lot of tanks and a lot of control over the tank and the airspace. And so it looks like both players going out to start their racks. And again, you'll notice Korlith, you know, maybe it's just to kind of like, this is his way of mentally playing with players. They come in and they don't see a racks right away. It's actually down here in the corner.
I mean, that can freak you out, man. If you don't see a racks when you initially scout, you immediately start thinking, where is it? Am I about to get proxied? This is not good. I'm freaking out. Then you go a little bit deeper with your SCV and you finally find it. But it'll set your nerves on high for sure. Yeah,
sometimes you're even saying, man, is this guy just bad? And then you're realizing they probably didn't get to the finals of this competition by being bad. So as he is going to make his way in here, we'll watch him as he gets closer and closer to the base. And we'll see how long it takes Select to scout what's going on here.
Yeah, and he goes straight for the command center. Looks like he hasn't given that SCV. There he goes, finally controlling it. Scouts no gas, and he is not actually going to see that Rex.
Oh, there he goes. Okay.
Now he's going back in, and yeah, there we go. Now he finally sees that Marine. Now, if that would have taken another 2 seconds or so and Select finally turned around, that Marine could have denied it, and he would have been a little bit confused as to where exactly that Rax was.
Yeah, it would have been a mystery. But we do have the factory going down for Select, and on the other side, I'm kind of expecting the same thing out of Korlith, but with the no gas. Oh, he's got no gas. So yeah, the CC goes down. So I think Select actually is going to be in a little bit better position here if he does decide to work within the timings of what his opponent is now going to be up against, just making the single Marines out of his racks. With the gas coming in for Select, of course, he'll be able to drop those add-ons, which will just allow his army to be that much better. But the gases are going up for Korlith here. So we'll just see how he handles this with kind of a lack of units earlier on in the game.
Yeah, another thing that you really have to consider is sometimes the solution to this is just throwing down a bunker at your ramp. But if you're actually taking your natural on a map like Xel'Naga Caverns, you have so many entrances into that natural, so you really can't just place a single bunker to defend against that. But we see Korlith moving out here, chasing away the Xel'Naga Tower SCVs. He does that, and two more are running over here to the left. Xel'Naga going to be able to chase that Marine out. If you go back over into the main base of Select, factory started with a tech lab on it, and command center as well. And there's that blue flame. This is actually looking a little bit like Korlith's build in that last game week.
Yeah, it is. He didn't go with the, or Select didn't go as quick as he did, and that might actually pay off. He did get the command center in there as well, and the orbital's just now morphing in for Korlith. There is a little bit of a battle here at the towers, back and forth. I like the way that Korlith did split his 2 Marines to make it so if there was a single one there, he was going to be able to take him out. We've got a bunker going down now, and that's an indication that we'll get this orbital over in the natural, as it is going to lift off and start to head over. Meanwhile, on the other side, with the blue flame halfway done and the first Hellions out, obviously there is, well, we don't have a starport yet, so you know, I don't know what he plans to do with this from an attack posture point of view, JP.
Yeah, scan going down. Korlith does in fact see those Hellions. I think you can definitely see that tech lab, but he's got to maybe think, well, maybe that's siege mode. I'm not entirely sure. It could kind of be either that or blue flame. So he's got to probably suspect it will be blue flame, though, as there are Hellions out. Second factory going down. In that last game, I believe there were 3 factories for Select, and we really didn't get to see that strategy unfold. But now Select will be moving across the map. There is this 1 lone bunker and a handful of Marines. But Marines do not fare that well against Blue Flame Hellions, especially under the control of someone like Select.
Yeah, in fact, we got, I mean, Korlith had to stop his production just a little bit as he threw down 2 tech labs and is getting a few Marauders out of there. Meanwhile, a tank coming out, and that may actually be a really, really good comp as here comes the Blue Flame and the Marines, as I'm totally kind of off on that. They just went around, and they may try to go ahead and make their way into the main, watching out for that bunker, and there they go. But the tank is out.
Yeah, and that tank is definitely going to do a lot of damage for Korlith. It's trying to get folks down there, but the SCVs are helping it out. And now only 2 Hellions remain. No mining is being done currently by Korlith. These 2 Hellions are doing a ton of damage there. Oh, and they've actually met a ton of Marines there. I thought they were going to be able to line up some of those SCVs, but now Korlith is going back to mining from his main. Still not mining just yet from his natural, but he's lifting up that command center. If you go back over into Select's base, he's actually lifted his 2nd orbital. And he's adding on, there's that 3rd factory actually going down with 2, nope, cancels that 1 starport. Looks like he didn't want that. So he does have a medevac coming out. Might just see some more Blue Flame Hellion drops here from Select.
Yeah, I mean, the damage was done. You just take a look at the income tab. He put his opponent behind by about 10 or so harvesters. Right now, Korlith is not getting any gas at all. He's currently got nothing sitting on his refineries, only bringing in minerals. So with siege mode underway for both players and the additional factories for Select, that is going to put him in a remarkable position. He feels like he's going to get more Marines and tanks out of his opponent. He's throwing down another tech lab here so that he can produce probably just Hellions out of the reactors, and then we've got the tanks coming out of the other factories. So here comes that medevac filled up with 4 Hellions, and he is so out of position for this, JP. This is not going to be good. A tank coming out of that factory.
That tank might actually save him a little bit, but it is quite slow. Those Hellions can completely outmaneuver. And oh no, so many SCVs there. And Korlith just turning around, trapping a lot of those Hellions. He does get 2 of them picked up, and then drops them right above. The SCVs are getting a ton of kills. That drop definitely paid for itself there. If we go into the unit counting station, 15 SCVs for Korlith and 38 for Select. We are probably going to be seeing a huge force here coming out of Select very, very soon.
Yeah, I mean, he's already starting to get his tanks, and he's just going to have more. He's going to be able to produce far more, and he can get out the single Viking or the single medevac out of his starport right now, and that's really all he needs. Now, it looks like Korlith, being a little bit higher on his mineral count, going to throw down another command center, and, you know, might be a good idea since he needs another method of getting his SCV count up. But that means the production is still going to remain limited here for Korlith. He's going to stick on the 1 factory. And I like the ideas of kind of switching over to Marauders to hopefully deal with some of this mech. But here comes another medevac, JP.
Yep, and how much damage is this one going to do? It, I believe, will be spotted, maybe not here from that supply depot. And he barely sees it there for a little bit longer than I thought, but it does go back into the shadows, and now there's a tank sieged up. The Marines are going to be able to do some damage against that medevac. All the Marines were taken out there, and now Korlith is going to lose. How many SCVs is it going to be? He takes out so many there. That tank trying its hardest to do so much damage. Select just parks it right next to it and probably laughs the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, this is almost kind of hard to watch here for Korlith. That's the second time now that he has got assaulted from that location. Unfortunately, just didn't have the greatest reaction. Even having a couple Marauders, which he has gone ahead and left some Marauders back here, would have made a huge difference. But that's not really the problem right now, JP. There's a big army marching forward, and will the sieged up tanks of Korlith be enough? He's already fighting a very, very big uphill battle. 50 Harvesters, 17 Harvesters, and Select might just roll right in.
Yeah, actually, Korlith just unsieging for just 1 second. He might actually move out into these tanks of Select. Or no, he's just going to siege right back up. But what that does mean is that Select was able to get set up and in position. Looks like he should have... There goes that one tank being taken out. A ton of scans going down. But this nice little siege position will mean that it's going to be very hard for Korlith to get in there and do damage to Select's tanks.
Yeah, I mean, what does Korlith do at this point? He's cut off from mining at his natural because of the Hellions. Select moves that tank back, just keeping those alive. And he's created this contain. He did force that lift on the orbital as well, so it wasn't producing any more SCVs. More tanks are coming, and when I say more tanks, I mean more tanks. There's 3 factories churning out goodies, with 2 more now getting their reactor and tech lab at the Natural Select, and he's setting himself up to make sure he will not lose this game.
Yeah, Select going with the double expand. Just like I was saying, he was just churning out a huge amount of forces here. So many tanks sieged up right here for Select. Scan going down, it will allow him to hit both of these tanks. There's really not much Korlith can do. He's going to try to unsiege that one, but it will not make it out of there alive. He could possibly use this orbital, as there are no Vikings to chase it away to scout for him. But he's just going to land that in between his 2 already landed command centers. Try to get some more SCVs out.
Uh-oh.
Here comes the Viking, and I think you're saying uh-oh to this other drop over here.
Yeah, I am. Tanks on the low ground, throw some Hellions on the high ground. If you want to get a little greedy, JP, you throw those tanks back onto the high ground. And, I mean, you know, this is a nasty little attack. He's also continuing to move forward at the front, JP. So, you know, what does he do? Just suddenly a barracks is gone. He can't produce out of it, at least Hellion, or excuse me, at least Marauders. And he's going to drop some more Hellions on top of these tanks. It's just not looking good.
Yeah, I mean, just look at a second right now. This is Select's view. I'm not looking at the entire map. There isn't a place that he cannot see on the actual map. Another drop here coming in the back of Korlith's base will not do too much damage, because that tank will take it out. But Select is not worried whatsoever at this point in the game, Wheat. He just has so many bases there, getting his high yield up, fully saturated already, getting a planetary down. Another base popping up here on
and he's
the
going in,
base.
JP.
It looks like he's moving in.
Yeah, he runs right in. I mean, honestly, it wasn't even much of a battle, dude. It was, and there's the GG. At that point, Select just had so much, and was able to just knock on the front door and barge in, take a dinner roll.
Yeah, he just looked, those 2 drops just did so much damage for Select there. Korlith would have really been up. It was an uphill battle for him almost all game, trying to come back into that. First drop you can kind of recover, but as soon as that second drop hits, and it did as much damage as Select actually did with it, it's just really, really hard to come back from. So Select is now up 2-1 in this series, guys. We'll be going to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have Game 4 between Select and Korlith. Can Select actually get the victory here and siege the win? We'll have to wait and see.